Hello, Powersmith Salesman. This is Dan Woodson here. I'm going to give you a brief tutorial on how to fill out the solar information in Beast and how you and the solar tech will be interacting. So, when you have scheduled a solar close, you'll create a new solar opportunity and all of this information will pop up. As the salesman, you will be responsible for the information under closing information. So everything that's highlighted there. A lot of this is relatively straightforward, but I want to go through all of these just so we're on the same page. So the designs will be made based on a solar roundup, and in that information we will not know that a design is needed unless you put the date, the time, and your name. Any special requests that need to be made, so in this instance, client only interested in zero down option. That's great information to pass along. You want to put that in the design request / comment section. If the client is interested in a prepaid or recently took down a tree, any of that information should go in here. On top of that, you want to make sure that an email is in there, a cell phone, and that the name's spelled correctly. And if there's a second person, a spouse, that may have better credit than the primary contact, put their name in there too, and the tech will design that in the proposal. If the job is sold, you put in the date, and if you attended the closing, you hit held. So anything about closing comments, so if things went well, they had an issue about this, they had a concern about that, anything that needs to be passed along or answered, or just general comments, so when we run reports we can see what's working and what's not, that should be put in this text box. The price, you'll be responsible for putting in. The plan that the customer chooses, so we have the low up front, the prepaid, a purchase, and a custom locked in. Just pick the appropriate one. If there is an upfront payment amount, sometimes some of these proposals, especially the prepaid, require a deposit, or a few $1,000s out of pocket. If that is the case, you would put that in there, and if you've collected $500 from that, you would select this number. This checkbox. The one-sit close, if you sat down with them and were able to close them in one sitting, then you check this box. And based on the system we have in place, you'll be scheduling the site survey for the tech based on their available slots, and you would put in the date and the start time. The closing is always going to be 3 hours long. The site survey is scheduled for 3 hours. It's usually a 10 a.m. or a 2 p.m. Start time. In this box, site survey comments, sometimes the client is very particular about where the inverter is going to go or has some concerns. In this instance, the client was very interested to see if we could fit more modules on a roof. These are all this is where you want to relay that information to the tech. So just a few quick sentences here if there's any relevant information. Sometimes the homeowner is aware that we'll be there doing the site survey, but they won't be there till, if it's a 10 a.m. start, they won't get there till 11. So make sure that that's put in there. Do the roof aspect first. Homeowner won't be there till 11. They know you're going, etc., etc. So for the most part, that is what you are responsible for, along with any updates in the discussion and standard procedure. In regards to the information that you'll be getting, that's going to come explicitly from here. So we have the proposal link, the design number. This is going to say design comments. That'll be changed. And then solution completed. Some of this information might switch locations, but the data points are all going to be the same. So proposal link. Up until recently, we've been emailing these. If you double-click, hit copy, open a new tab, right-click, hit paste, and then enter. It'll bring you to the link, and you will generate by hitting submit. You shouldn't have to add any information there, but sometimes an email will be omitted if there wasn't in there. If that was the case, I would put that in the design comments, or you can just check in Beast, and if there wasn't one to begin with and there's not going to be an email, that would make things difficult on you for getting a credit check, so you always want to make sure that's in there. But a quick once over, but for the most part this should be filled out accordingly. You hit submit, and then you will select which options you would like to present the homeowner. Perhaps it's just a custom and a prepaid. That's your decision. After that, you hit create documents, and the documents will be emailed directly to your inbox. Design number. So this is going to be the text way of communicating with you as to how conservative the design would be. So our goal is to make it conservative enough that we are proposing a solution that will not need a revised contract. We've had some issues with shading, so we want to make sure that if we think the tree is 50 feet tall, we're going to put it at 70 feet tall, and then we won't have, the system will overproduce rather than underproduce and require a revised contract. So a 10 would be a very conservative number. Realistically, a lot of these are going to be 6s or 5s, because if we're too conservative, then we can't offer a zero-down option. So for the most part, a 5 is going to be that I was trying to be accurate, a 1 would be really aggressive, and a 10 would be really conservative. So this one was just slightly conservative. The comment I had was one tree might be an issue, try to design around it, so I tried to put the modules in a place where shading wouldn't affect it, and we'll see. You can ignore this. This more or less is what the system's estimated to produce. Then after the site survey, I'll put a new number in here, and that'll tell me if a change order is needed. There's also a manual override for that, so if a change order is needed, this proposal link, the updated one, will be in here, and that's where you would get the revised contract signed. So once the tech has finished the design, he will just send a quick email through Beast saying that the solution is complete. And you can get all this information from Beast now as opposed to sorting through your emails. All right, that's it.